Hi, hello, I'm Chrissy. Quick intro for today since I already in real time gave an intro for this video, but I wanted to do a fast rundown. Today I will be doing the Squiggle drawing challenge Katie, or Kate Cruzan, my twin sister, does with her art. It is drawing one random thoughtless squiggle on a page and looking at it and drawing whatever you see in it. That's the whole concept of today's video. If you like the traditional art video for today and you want to see more, please do share the video around so we can get more of a push on them. If you want to see these drawings in a speed draw format without me talking, you can find that on my Xtra's channel, and if you would like to see the raw footage of my art with background music, you can find that on my Uncut channel. Also, I'm really trying to get monetized at some point, so sticking around for the whole length of the video helps my watch time, so stick around if you'd like to support me that way. Of course, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to support me as well. This video is perfect to draw along with, so if you care to tag along, grab a sketchbook or something to draw with and we can draw together. I used only markers in today's video, just 4 Sharpies and 2 black Tombow markers. Of course, my sketchbook spread is character related like the majority of my art, so maybe you also have some characters you want to draw as well. I know I always have some sitting around that need fresh art, or if you care to draw the characters in today's video, feel free to do so and send them in the Discord server linked below. I would love to see any of your art. Now with that little ramble out of the way, let's get into the actual video. Alright, hi guys, this is a different of an intro part to the art part of the video. You know how I say in all my voiceovers, like, let's finish rambling and now let's get into the art part of the video? This is the intro to that. I'm gonna be doing something new, something fresh, something spicy. Not really. So this is me goofing off. If you don't know, I have a twin sister, Kate Cruzan. She's always linked in the description. She's also an artist. She does this fabulous thing where she will take, not that I just put all these on here, she'll take any marker, and she will do a huge squiggle on the page, and she will find something to draw in that squiggle of random lines. And I thought it would be great to attempt that. I gotta love having dogs. Gotta love having wasabi. Look at this friggin' guy. Look at me. That's my dog, Wasabi. Hi, Wasabi. I love you. Shoot, look at me. I love you. Usually when I say that, he's all over me giving me kisses, but he's confused because he's in a chair. Okay, go ahead. You can go. Go ahead. Okay, now that he's dismissed. Moving back on to what we were doing. Gosh dang it, I moved my camera stand now. So what we're doing is I grabbed 4 colors that I have chose 4 characters to match. And what I will be doing is, actually, I was thinking about doing 4 pages for each character. I think that's a little dramatic. Maybe? Because that's like a lot. Maybe let's start with like 4 small ones. And then I can always, like, do a different one where I could do, like, 4 big pages. I don't know, sometimes it's better working on a bigger scale for things. So it's like, you have the ability to, like, well, what am I saying? Sometimes it's better working on a bigger scale because you can see, like, the full, like, it takes up the full page. You can see the bigger picture. Like, you could do, like, a really big eye and get the details of that one thing really good. Or it's so big that you start getting, like, really intricate with the, like, small details, and that's not necessarily what we're going for. This challenge, I feel like, is more of abstract-y, and you want a generic feel of what you want to draw. Like, you want it to be loose. I don't want it to be, like, Chrissy, where she draws super stiff poses. So let's try to do the smaller ones, because then I won't get so stuck in my box. So we have a pink for Yummy. Boom, on screen. Okay, we have a blue for Azure. Boom. Azure on screen. We have red for my new dragon character. Look at it. It's a redesign. I have not come out with the video, but I did record it. So if you see this in a redesign, that's so powerful, wonderful. Someone please come up with a name for him. Thank you. And green for boom, citrus, which you've seen citrus before in 2 videos. I would have grabbed a yellow Sharpie, but I was afraid that the yellow wouldn't show up dark enough, and I only have a yellow liner, and I didn't want like tiny little lines. Like we want somewhat chunky lines, and this is the closest I could get. I'm also afraid of the red because I'm gonna go over it with black to do like the actual drawing, so I'm afraid the red will be too dark, but whatever. And I have these just in case I want to piddle with those. Okay, so let's start with, we're gonna do the scribbles together, and I actually already have a page in here that has, I was planning on oh, thank God we can see what's under the, y'all see that? Let me grab something to fix that. My mom got me, or my mom and dad, whichever one who picked it out. I don't know. Oh, that's the last doodles for my last Huevember video. Go check that out if you want to see more about this character. Anyway, I shouldn't get that open. My mom picked this, my mom and dad were there, so it doesn't really matter which one. There we go, now you can't see that as much. My mom and dad actually picked this sketchbook out at the dollar store, and I actually really love it, but the only annoying thing with sketchbooks sometimes is the paper is where you see how that's like pretty dead white, and then this is like an eggshell white. Not my favorite thing. Yeah. So we already have 4 little marked off corners. I was going to do something else with this page, but this actually I feel like is better. Let's get squiggling. So we're gonna do yummy. We'll do the girls. Girl, male. Word. And we're just not even gonna think about it. Sometimes I close my eyes while doing this so I don't think about it, but I kind of need to stay in the box there. Just a squiggle. We just want like a simple squiggle. But the goal is we don't want to like see the same thing in each squiggle. We want to make sure that we are different. And we'll make red and green opposite to each other since they're not primaries, they're complementary. Even though more lime and pink are more complementary, like a more forest green would match this, but not to be like that artist. Okay, and then we're gonna do, yeah, that's a little dark, so let me try not to do too many. Does those look super similar to you? Because those look really similar to me. Oops. Oh my gosh, I even started in the same let's start in a different corner. That was not on purpose, genuinely. Let's start like in the middle. Oh yeah, this one. She's giving different. That one's for citrus. And this one, ooh, I can smell the Sharpie. It's like, for some reason it hit my eyes before it hit my nose. And we'll start in, this is a pretty color. And then the blue is Azure, which is my, hello? No. is my, heart panda character. All right, and now that we've done the squiggles, I will be doing the poses by myself, and you will be able to get beautiful voiceover, Chrissy. I just wanted to record this with you guys. All right, do I know how to do transitions? Is there a fun transition I can do? Should I just slam my hand against you guys? I just like hit you guys like off camera. Hi. Not you wobbling. Just to clarify, I will be going straight in with marker. Okay, so this is gonna be pure one attempt and done. So it's gonna be real focused in. I'm gonna use my big brain here. And Yummy is a very complicated character for this one, and this is gonna be difficult. I didn't choose like less detailed characters. I just chose characters I wanted to draw, or I felt like needed drawn. Now, if you're doing this challenge, please do not like feel the need to start just going with a marker. Like if you are uncomfortable with that, or you are incredibly nervous about it, and you feel that you're not up to that level or skill or whatever you want to call it. Not saying that I am. I'm just willing to make myself look like a fool. But what you could do is you could take the same color and then just look at it, figure out what pose you want to do, and just kind of follow in with the same color and do a sketch so that, you know, it's there for you. And it's okay if the integrity of the line, it's nice to have to see, But if you are doing this as like you just want to do for fun and it's just a practice, like it's okay to fail. The probability of you failing is very high, so just accept failure. That's what I do. So it doesn't have to be perfect, and in fact, it'll probably look very abstract. So I just wanted to be clarify. Everyone's will look different. Here, I will put examples on screen. Katie will probably give me permission, but she probably won't care. I put her art on screen. Here's examples of ones Katie has done. Pow, 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 pow. Yes, love. She's incredibly talented and she is amazing at these. So if you're looking for inspiration, there it is. And she's gonna be our inspiration for today. I'm gonna go all in and see if I can't just go one pass through with a marker and do it. Okay? Alright guys, starting with our first squiggle drawing. I was pretty nervous. I have not had any recent practice drawing with just marker. I usually have my sketches to rely on, but today we are having none of that. No safety net, just pure focus and precision, or at least I will do my best to obtain that. First character for our pink color is Yummy. Yummy is a super complicated character. I did not capture all of her details, so if you are interested in seeing more of an in-depth video on her design, click on the iCard above where I designed her, Yummy and Gummy. Now, about the actual art on screen, I saw a pose of her sitting on her knees and just an area where I could see her head sitting. That is kinda as far as I saw. These squiggle drawings, you just kinda have to start and see as you draw along. Not all of them, but some of them are almost like working blind. This was the first thing I had drawn all day, so this was my warm-up for the day. I tried to follow specific lines for different things. I got her fins pointed down with the direction of the lines and made sure her thigh and leg fit the line direction where I had seen them. Her tail was easy because there was a clear line curved up I could follow and draw in. Once I had her completely drawn in, I went in with my thicker marker, trying to add some line width and depth. I just wanted to clean up my lines a bit since it looked a little too sketchy for my liking. Something else to note with these squiggle drawings is as I'm drawing them, you can see the in-time process of my brain choosing and picking which lines to draw with, but at the end, sometimes it's hard to see what lines I was actually looking to use to add those limbs in and all of the key components of her character. So while just looking at it, you can think that this is like a squiggle with just like a random character pose on top. I promise you I did follow as many lines as I could, and this goes along with all of the other ones. Some are easier to see than others. This one, like I said, first warm-up drawing of the day, and since it was a full body, it was a little more difficult to understand, but this is a first step in the right direction. Alright, so that took me about, I think like 18 minutes, I wasn't looking. Some comments. Of course, this is like a really goofy drawing of Yummy, and also I kind of like in love because I think it's hilarious. But Yummy was a good candidate for this because I kind of just reminded myself she's actually a character that's made of like slime and like she's a bacteria-based character, so she's like based on the fact that her body is very malleable and is not always the same and it's ever changing, and it kind of made me feel more okay with like making her goofy. Those eyes kill me, that is so funny, but I like how it looks. I like that it's fun. I like that it's abstract. I like that it's crazy. I like that it's goofy. And some things I found that I liked, stuff that I kind of learned, is I'm using a Tombow marker. These are my favorite to do simple things with. I use the bullet nib, and I went with that in first because I thought, let me do the thinnest line art I could first and not attack it like it's a sketch where I can erase lines, but try and commit to things that I saw and wanted to do. So I started with that eye and was like, oh, well, crap, where do I put the other eye? And then I kind of just worked my way around and to see what kind of fit, and you can see like the certain things that fit with lines, like her what do I call these? I called them fins. fit in the line shape there, and then I tried to mimic the line here with her face, and then her arm follows this line while her hand is staying within this shape, and you know her tail completes the full line here, and then even her legs here fill in the line. And I tried to not always stick to the line specifically, but if there was a shape that could fill the line perfectly, at least in one spot, I committed to it. And I like working with smaller liner and first, and then go through and see, okay, where did my lines overlap? What place could I add shadow to add depth and clean up some of the line work mistakes? And I think it's good for the first one so far. I'm gonna write yummy. If this doesn't fit, I'm gonna be so mad. I'll put my signature here in the middle, but let me put number 1 here in the corner. All right, so that's kind of my overall takeaways, I guess. Sorry, my chair's squeaking. If you are someone who is very particular and wanted to go the extra mile, you could grab a white liner, a jelly roll, or some sort of white to go over this, you know, add white highlights, go in and like you could get rid of the extra markings, but I don't feel like that's necessary because this is just like a fun, goofy pass through. I think it's gonna get a little more difficult with the next character because I chose characters that I realized are not quite the easiest. So our next character is a dragon that has wings, horns, the full rundown. So let's jump into that. Next Squiggle drawing, we have Dino, which may be a permanent name or temporary, I'm not sure yet, so please do let me know what you think about his name. This is the second drawing I have ever done of him, so that made it a little easier to play around with him and his design since I'm not set in stone on anything. His Squiggle, however, had such an easy read. Honestly, it looked like I had already went in trying to draw the shape of his side view, so that's what I went with. It had the perfect placement of his eye and snout. I was able to get more precise with my lines because I could already see and tell what I wanted to do with this drawing. I wasn't feeling as blind like the first one. This drawing is the reason I love this challenge. Especially with characters, it pushes and alters silhouettes and anatomy in a way I wouldn't normally think of doing, and it's done in sort of an abstract way. It's crazy how the first and second Squiggle looked so similar, but I got 2 completely different drawings out of them. I was focused on making the line art clean and smooth, giving it thicker line art and depth to it. I don't do this look in digital art because I pretty much hate doing line art digitally. Traditionally, however, I like line art when it's the main focus, where color isn't even something I have to think about. This drawing is absolutely a contender for my favorite. I utilized a lot of the lines in a way that brought the character through. Alright, I just finished the second one. Now we can see the differences between the two of these. I didn't do a full body this time. I did a headshot. Once again, we're just looking into these like lines and seeing if there's anything we can see. Specifically, I'm looking for the character's features or markings. So one of the first things I noticed with this one was it gave a good look of his side view. One of the specific things about this character, and I'm thinking, I know he's a dragon, but I'm thinking about naming him like Dino or something like that, or Dino. Like, I know he's not a dinosaur, he's a dragon, but I kind of want to name him Dino, so let me know if you guys think that's a fun idea. I immediately saw a good side view look because he does have a big nose and a pretty like round nose at that. He has a snout that's pretty round, so I saw that and that was my first thing, so I knew I was gonna do a side view headshot, and I'm actually like in love. Like, I really like the way this turned out. I think some of my favorite things with these where you do have a close-up shot, the things that are in the background you can just do in a black shadow to just hint that they're there. And that's what I really like the line art aspect of this, because when you do get stuff that's blown up closer, you can be more precise and your shadows can be a bit bolder. So that's fun. I think we improved from 1 to 2. Maybe because we did a more simple shot, full body shot, headshot. That's how I feel about that. I am naming him Dino. I love that. I don't know. I've been like kind of thinking about this name for a while, and I don't know. I just like it. I just go with the things that my brain is telling me, and that's just what my brain's telling me. So I don't know how long this one took because I did pause my recording, so I didn't have the correct time. I think it took a little bit longer, but it should be around 20 minutes. That's Dino's. I don't think I have too much to say after his. I do really, really like it. I think I like that the line art's cleaner too. So this one was the first thing I've drawn all day. So, and then that's a second. There's a clear improvement of not only line consistency, but I kind of knew what I was doing more in this one because I had a better look. I think the next one might be another headshot, and we're going to be doing citrus. This is the next one, and I kind of already see like this one might be a stretch because I see the goofiest face of citrus I've ever seen in my life. Like, I don't know if y'all can see this here, but like huge nose, 2 eyes here, and like there's a pupil, and then we can add another one, and then like some ear. Almost looks like a dog. Do y'all see that? That would be the ending of the like snout. We'll see. Citrus is like something that looks like a fox, dog, and like all of the above. So we will see. I don't know if I'll stick to that or not, because I do want to make sure I get another full body on here. So maybe we'll do the 2 males with headshots, and then have Azur over here match Yummy's where she has a full body. I think that's the plan. So we're going to jump into number 3. Moving on to the third squiggle drawing, we are drawing Citrus here. I knew immediately I was going to draw him because I don't know if you guys see, but there is like an obvious face on the squiggle, and I just drew what I saw, and as you see me draw, I'm sure you can see it too. It looks so funny and goofy, of course, so I had to do it. We commit to things here in traditional art videos. Taking that face and applying all of Citrus's details to it, I love the dramatic sizes and shapes on his face. I made my line art bold and tried my best not to misplace lines, taking what I learned in the second squiggle and applying it here with the line work and depth. I even added the smallest amount of cross-hatching. I did something I don't normally do in sketchbook character drawings. I went in by hand and drew out his character pattern, drawing it in on his snout and fur. I am glad I committed to that because it adds something to it. I think it ties it all together nicely. The added patterns and cross-hatching sealed the deal for me, and this on was finished. I am getting so lucky with how easy the lines are to read and drawing things in. This was another perfect example of that. Alright, I just finished the third one, and I'm quieter because my mom just got home and I don't want to bother her. But Citrus, funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And we're gonna mark Citrus. You can clearly tell. I did go ahead and do like the goofy eye thing that I saw and like the snout. I said this in a voiceover before. For traditional art, I always go with the first idea I have because I can always go back and do something else or try again. Glad I did that because it looks so goofy. Like the little weird squirrel thing from Ice Age? That's what his face is giving, like the weird long snout. And I went ahead and like drew in his pattern, which I don't normally do because the patterns on some of my characters are like overlays for digital art and layers, and I don't often in my sketchbooks actually draw those in, but I did with this one because I felt like it needed it because of all of like the empty space, so I did that. We have his little lemon citrus marks, his little eyes, ears, little horns, his little tufts. I think this looks so funny. I love it so much. And I'm not sure how Azur's is gonna go. I'm a little nervous. But at the end of all these, I'm gonna show Katie all of them, and I can't wait to see her reaction on that because this is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. I think that's all I have to say about that. Moving on. So far, we have had one okay squiggle drawing with Yummy, 2 that in my mind nailed the challenge, and now we have our final one with Azure, our 4th Squiggle drawing. This is my 2nd drawing of Azure, so like Dino's, I was willing to push and bend the design however I wanted. Since we had 2 headshots and 1 other full body, I wanted to make sure this one was a full body, just to balance the page out. I saw perfectly where I could place her foot and leg, and started at the top, placing in her snout, eyes, and head, and made my way down the page, filling in her body as I saw it in the lines. This one is the only Squiggle drawing I didn't fill out the whole box, but I did take what I learned from all the other ones, knowing that I liked the thicker line art, patterns, cross-hatching, and black color blocking. I made sure to incorporate all of this into this drawing. Filling in her patterns and black spaces took a while, but I did my best. It's always difficult filling in black pieces right next to each other and being aware of the white lines you want to leave in. Regardless, I like the result of this one. All of these honestly were so fun, and Azure's was no exception. Alright, now this is the final for Azure. I'm gonna color in these actually. They're not actually black on her design, but it just fits. There. I think. I don't know. Maybe I'll regret that later. Actually, I kind of want to do it to the thing up here as well. Alright. Okay, so she is the full body, and her heart pattern actually on her chest, that's like the full, is like full on her legs and tail, but I didn't want it to be all the way full because there's a lot of black spots. I just didn't want it to be too much. As you can see, hers is a full body, just like Yummy's is. And we're gonna write her name up in the corner. This is my 2nd time ever drawing her. So that's the final for Azure. Also, if you're going through this challenge, do not feel upset if there's blank space or if you didn't fill in the whole thing, because shockingly enough, hers is the only one that has blank space, which I didn't think was gonna happen. Come on, phone stand. You're killing me here. Alright, so this is the final. I'm actually gonna go have Katie come down, and she's gonna get a reaction. The master herself is gonna get a reaction to the Squiggle creations I did. I want to do like a thing though of which ones are my favorite and like which I feel could be improved on and which ones, you know. Just an overview, a review. Of course, Yummy's was the one I first started with. You can see that the line work there is much more rough. I wasn't sure what I was committing to, and to be fair, Yummy has a lot of aspects to her design and anatomy, so it was more things to think about and consider, especially on her face and the way her body is. Azure is a normal, she's actually a panda bear, so there wasn't too many different things to consider other than basic panda ears and a tail. My 2 males here, Dino and Citrus, of course, were just a headshot, and their line art is like super clear, and I'm not sure which one's my favorite. I think Dino's is my favorite, just purely because it's just like nice and clean, and I like that. I think I accomplished something different with each of them. Yummy, of course, I think is the weakest, just because there's nothing that I felt I accomplished or learned. I think this was the first stepping stone. Dino's made me take note of line width and the shadows created by black shaping and silhouettes. Citrus's made me take into consideration maybe some more patterns, and Azure's kind of tied both of those together with the black silhouette shadow blocking and then the patterns with Citrus's. So we're gonna have Katie come down and I'm gonna get a reaction. It's gonna be funny, it's gonna be great. Hey! Hey! You ready?
I'm ready.
You're over here. You ready? You ready? You ready?
Ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Boom.
Oh my god, Sandra! This is the kind of art I needed.
You like it?
Very good. See,
Thank you.
we need more of this. We need like 10 more.
It actually wasn't, I'd say like each of them, maybe Azure's a little longer because of the like the
Azure's
white
is
blocking.
a little sloppy.
What do you mean? It's not sloppy.
Just in a little bit of the line work.
How dare you?
The Citrus is unbelievably good with the line work. I like Dinos or Dinos, whatever you name them.
Yummy's was the one I first. To be fair, that's the first thing I drew.
That's what I was gonna say. I can tell
today.
That's the first one you drew. These are really good.
I was gonna say, like, they like took like 20 minutes
This one was probably a little awkward for you to draw because it's the bottom of the canvas.
Yeah.
That's probably why it's looking a little off. But that one's that's amazing. You should like make that like a sticker or something. That's so cool.
It is pretty funny, isn't it? He looks like the like squirrel from Ice Age.
I love how we kind of do the same posing for scribble drawings. I always like to do the
like squat
or the sitting,
where because it's so easy where you see two chunks of lines together, so you can see the thigh and the feet, and
that's
like
why my scribble drawings are typically like leg based because it's so easier to find someone's leg and butt than anything else. But these are so fun. Are you gonna please color them?
No, I'm not gonna color that. Oh. Maybe I'll do like a digital on my own time.
Color citruses.
Nah.
Oh, it's so funny. Look at him.
And it's so funny. Don't you love that I added the pattern?
Make that like a YCH or something. Like the idea of like the big eyes and like, that'd be very funny.
Yeah, I literally. If you look at this video,
use to line this?
Just this. My Tombow marker.
I hate black Tombow markers. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's why hers is probably a little sloppy because like these are blown up and then this one's like
especially
the
with the awkward hand and you're drawing in a slant. No, I could.
Totally I didn't do a sketch. I just went in with marker.
Why?
Because that's like another like we don't. Chrissy doesn't need to be slower with another layer. You know what I mean?
Well, to be fair, I mean, when I do my mini-me, I've drawn her so many times that I'm like, whatever. But like when I do sketches, I barely draw any sketch, I guess, if that makes sense.
I also just wanted to get, better at being more precise. I mean, clearly I can.
Yeah.
And I did.
And the scroll method is so good for good drawings, because you push your brain on composition.
Yeah, my brain
placement.
Said it pushes on commitment.
It also does push commit, makes you commit to the drawing. And, like, even if the drawings aren't good, they're still good, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got super lucky with, like,
that one
how
looks so
perfectly clean. Dino's fits. Like, you will look back in this video, and I was pointing out, I'm like, there's a dog staring at me. I'm like, pointing it out.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna work on our shades, that's so good.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Oh, do I have your permission to add your art into my video? Because I was gonna give an example before.
You have to add every example.
Every example? That's so many.
Choose the good ones, don't choose the bad ones.
Okay.
Well, there are no bad ones.
Okay. Thank you. Mm-hmm. In the corner of my video, they're gonna see your flame pants just walk by.
And that's Katie.
Guys, hold out your hand. Hold out your hands. Both hands. It's a big sketchbook. Do not open them. Do not open them. Do not open them. Hold the sketchbook. Okay, look. Look at it. What do you think? Huh? What do you think? Not
I like the Dino.
You like Dino?
I like the name Dino.
You like the name Dino? Why? Because Flintstones? How do we feel about it?
They're really good.
Which one's your favorite?
I gotta say, I think Yummy.
Yummy is your favorite, really? You just think it's cute?
Yeah.
Which one's your least favorite?
I don't have a least favorite.
You don't have a least favorite?
No.
They're all too good. I did this with no sketch, by the way. I just went in with marker.
I just wish they were colored in.
You just wish they were colored. Maybe I will on my own time.
I just don't like the squirrel.
The squirrel.
The marker.
Oh, the squiggle in the background. Is that what you're trying to say? Well, that's how I drew those. I drew the squiggle and then drew what's in them.
I know, but you can't get rid of the squiggles.
That's all I have for this video. I plan on doing more sketchbook pages with some more designs like these. They are super quick, but so fun. Well, not super quick, but faster than my normal work. I think each of them took a little 20 minutes. I think hers was a little over that. Thank you to Katie. She does this art and inspired me, so go check her out. Her YouTube link is always in the description. She also sometimes is in my comments. You can also just search up Kate Cruzan and find her that way. Like always, let me know what you think of today's video. Thanks for sticking around the whole way through, and if you just skipped to the end, thanks for clicking on my video anyway. That's all I have for today. I will see you in the next one. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. If you have anything I could pray for, please let me know in the comments. I love you, God bless you, and have a wonderful day.